Hi, today you'll get 30 questions. See how well you spot the unexpected. Let's go. Which continent is home to the vast Amazon rainforest? Correct answer. South America. What main method do dogs use to mark their territorial boundaries? Correct answer. Scent marking. What primary force keeps the Moon in constant orbit around the Earth? Correct answer. Gravitational pull. What is the official name for the tiny dot above a lowercase letter I or J? Correct answer. Tittle. Why does solid ice float on top of liquid water? Correct answer. Ice is less dense than. Why can pure honey remain edible for centuries without spoiling? Correct answer. High sugar concentration. Why do wild flamingos gradually turn bright pink as they mature? Correct answer. Diet rich in carotenoids. Why do some urban traffic signals switch to blinking yellow at night? Correct answer. To signal drivers to proceed. What was the original source of the word cliché in modern language? Correct answer. The sound made by cast. Why do human eyes require up to 30 minutes to adjust fully to the dark? Correct answer. Light-sensitive pigments. Why does an insulated thermos effectively maintain liquid temperatures? Correct answer. A double-walled vacuum. Why do we always see a lightning flash before hearing the thunder? Correct answer. Light travels faster than. What is the true function of the colored square mark on toothpaste tubes? Correct answer. Light sensors read it to. Why do deciduous trees drop their leaves before winter sets in? Correct answer. To reduce water loss and. What is the psychological term for seeing recognizable human faces in random objects? Correct answer. Pareidolia. What was bubble wrap originally invented to be in 1957? Correct answer. Textured wallpaper that. Why does water boil at lower temperatures high in the mountains? Correct answer. Lower atmospheric pressure. Why are raw wild almonds unsafe to eat compared to grocery store almonds? Correct answer. Wild varieties contain. What is one primary function performed by the human spleen? Correct answer. Filtering out damaged. What is the dominant source of salt present in ocean waters worldwide? Correct answer. Runoff carrying minerals. Why does spreading salt on icy roads effectively melt the ice? Correct answer. It lowers the freezing point. Why are commercial airplane airframes built primarily from aluminum alloys rather than pure steel? Correct answer. Aluminum offers a superior. Why are nocturnal insects like moths naturally drawn toward artificial light sources? Correct answer. They use bright distant light. Why does the calendar incorporate a leap day every 4 years? Correct answer. Earth takes roughly 300. What primary biological mechanism causes jet lag after long-distance flights across time zones? Correct answer. Disruption of the internal. What chemical compound creates the distinctive green coating on aged copper structures? Correct answer. Copper carbonate formed by. Why does a sound echo return noticeably quieter than the original sound produced? Correct answer. Sound energy spreads out. Why do desert cacti store water inside thick stems rather than broad green leaves? Correct answer. Thick stems reduce O. Why is the night sky dark despite the universe containing trillions of shining stars? Correct answer. The universe is expanding. What fundamental chemical property prevents pure gold from tarnishing or rusting over time? Correct answer. It is a highly unreactive. Thanks for playing. Write in the comments how many points you scored.